Hey y'all, welcome to Sunday Self-Love with me, Azamar. I really just want to share with you a different perspective on self-love, one that incorporates science and beauty together so that we can really start to mesh all these different aspects of ourselves as one and really think about how to better love ourselves, but also I want to explain like the facts behind different ways that we love ourselves. I really want to start this segment because I think it's important we start off our week right. I think it's important that before going into our week, we're really able to, support each other in this process of self-love. So today I wanted to talk about self-love in a different way. Today I want to talk about affirmations and self-love, and I want to talk about how in which we affect our body and our beauty regimens in the ways that we connect with ourselves and we speak to ourselves of ourselves, and I'm hoping that these Sunday self-love videos are going to be encouraging, empowering, and informative. So I'm definitely really working on making that possible, and today I'm about to share this book with y'all. It is called Wielding the Forces. An elder in Toronto community, Zainab, I met with her in a workshop. So Dr. Emotos' research was with water. He took clean water and polluted water, and he realized that the different things that were said to the water would change the crystallization. He then took this research and had folks thinking, just thinking negative thoughts, so I hate you, or thinking positive thoughts like I love you, and doing it from far distances, or taping the actual words to the water itself, and looking at how the crystallization of the water changed, whether it was polluted or clean. The crystallization changed to more like beautiful kind of crystal patterns if they were hearing positive things. The research found the water being impacted by feelings, spoken words, and unspoken words, which to me is really interesting. The fact that you don't even have to say these things out loud, you just have to think them, and that impacts the water, Just found that even people were thinking these thoughts miles away on bodies of water, and they tested that water, that what people were thinking, those positive or negative thoughts, would still impact the water. I think in the book, Zainab talks about how the research found was consistent with indigenous perspectives of like our relationship with water. And you might be wondering, like, why am I talking about random like experiments with water? And how does that relate to self-love? And the reason why I brought up water, because we are about 65% water. Our human bodies are 65% water. So think about that. Think about how people are able to, just with their intentions and their thought process alone, affect the crystallization of water. Think about how the way we speak to ourselves and our own bodies, how does that affect your body? Scientific proof that proves that the things that you think affects water, and you are water, so the things you think affects yourself too, and affects your hair's ability to grow, your skin's ability to glow. All these things are one big thing. You're not separate parts. You're not just like mental and like physical. These things are happening together. So therefore it's important to think of this whole beauty experience as one experience happening together. So we talk a lot about like, I want better skin, or I want my hair to grow, and I want this and I want that, and we think about our beauty regimen very much from a place of like, if I buy the right products or if I have the right regimen, suddenly like everything is just gonna be in place. Like my hair is gonna grow, I'm just gonna be on point, I'm gonna be like looking good, I'm gonna be glowing, I'm gonna be on point. Yeah, it's just like all those things are important. Don't get me wrong. Like it's extremely important to really have a great regimen. It's extremely important to like have the right products. It's extremely important to have the knowledge and the education. Like all these things are really important, but it's also really important to be saying like, and thinking, not just saying, but like thinking positive thoughts. If every time like you look at your skin, you're only saying and thinking negative things, and I'm not trying to say that like that doesn't happen. That happens to me too at times, and self-love is definitely a process, and it's a really difficult process, and some days are easier, some days are harder. But my point is, I think it's just really, really important that when we think about the self-love process, we really think about all aspects of it, and like the internal aspect of it also, and like I think that sign showing that relationship with water is really important, because if we're water, that relationship with ourselves and how we think things to ourselves, even just those thoughts alone, are impacting our whole beauty regimen. So it's cool to, you know, buy the right products, but also like you have to think the right things, you know. And something that I talk to my clients about a lot is like putting that love back into your hair, you know, like when you're touching your hair and you're interacting with your hair and your skin and, you know, your whole body, like you're thinking about positive things. And it's not always easy to do, but I think that just getting into the habit of doing it sometimes, you know, just getting into the habit of like, I always think about your relationship with your hair as a relationship with a friend, you know. And like sometimes that relationship with friends are like, they're rocky and they're bumpy and you're like, oh, why are we friends again? And then other times you're like, I love you so much, you're the best thing in my life. And like that's okay, like that's normal to have happen at times, you know. Where things shift. As I think it's really important that, like a relationship with a friend, you listen to your hair. You really listen, and like you see what, you know, what your hair really needs. Or like a relationship with a friend, you really talk to your hair, and like you really like sit down and have conversations. I know y'all are like, what is this girl talking about? But no, seriously, like I think it's so important. So with that really being said, I think that when you're having those conversations that come from a place of love, the same way it would with a friend or a family member, you know. So I feel like I'm just gonna say, you know, let's just have this challenge that you introduce love into your hair regimen. So part of the self-love process, and part of, you know, I want to have healthy, longer hair, I want to have beautiful, glowing skin, that part of that process is introducing self-love into that regimen. And like that is just through the thoughts that you think as you're, you know, combing your hair, or as you're, you know, applying your makeup, that you're thinking really like you're challenging yourself to think some positive things about yourself, you know. And for those who already do, because I'm sure a lot of folks already do, is just to like continue doing that, but also like challenging yourself to like add to that, to add to every time that you lotion your skin, or like to add to the process of like self-love, and like to add to this idea of loving yourself as a complete thing. It's something that's happening mentally, spiritually, emotionally, on the outside part of your beauty regimen. It's happening on all these different levels. I really feel like self-love has been my personal saving grace. I should like tell y'all like my own story one day. We're gonna do that soon. We're gonna do that. But self-love has definitely been my saving grace for this whole experience of coming into my own self as a woman. And I really want to share a lot of the things that I've learned on my journey, a lot of things that have been able to support the process for me to be comfortable. I would say like comfortable with my own skin. And it's something that's still a process. Every day it's a process. Every day I get up, it's definitely a process. And I'm hoping that this Sunday self-love segments will allow me to share with y'all a lot of that process, will allow me to share with y'all a lot of what I've had to learn, you know, in order to be comfortable, you know, in this whole process. And I'm still working on being comfortable. I just want to make that real clear. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy the Sunday self-love segments. I'm gonna try to really keep up with doing it every single Sunday. That's my goal, but forgive me if, you know, we miss a few Sundays. But definitely it's my goal. So this week, let's think positively. Let's really encourage our hair's growth and our skin's glowing by really thinking positive thoughts about ourselves and about our hair and about our body and about all aspects of ourselves. And like, you know, it might be difficult, but I think it's great to even have like a buddy, a self-love buddy that you can really support each other in the process. And I'm so down to also be your buddy. Like, please feel free to like send me messages and stuff like that. I'm all about that. I'm all about building community. So it's definitely a process, and I hope that your week is amazing, and I hope that everything you desire and more happens this week. And I hope that this whole like self-love journey is like bomb.com, and like next week when we have our video, you'll be like, yep, mission accomplished. Last week we did it, we're good, you know. Yeah, so I'm uber excited for this whole journey to be on with y'all. I feel more than like ecstatic and blessed and privileged to even be able to sit here today and have this video with y'all. I'm totally rambling. Anyways, love y'all so much. Enjoy your week, loves. Please, please, please take care of yourselves and each other.